Hi Flosstube, this is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner, and I am here with my Mania plans. I've already filmed this video once on like Friday night, I think, but I filmed it on my laptop because I knew this was going to be a longer video and I was worried about space on my iPad. But I played back some of the sound and it was just really bad quality, so I decided to refilm it, which is actually a good thing because between then and now I got the remaining, well, pretty much the remaining projects I was waiting on in the mail. There is still one that's still out there, but I knew I wasn't going to have that by now. So, without further ado, I'm going to talk about my Stitch Mania 2017 plans. I'm doing kind of my own thing. For this, I know there's a lot of different plans out there, and at first I thought I would just do 15 whips, and then I acquired enough like new projects that really called to me and wanted starts that I thought, well, maybe I'll do the 15 starts instead. And in the end, what I decided to do is this is going to go through the whole month of May, and I'm going to do a new start every other day, and so on odd days it's a new start, and then I will work on an existing whip on the even days. And so I'd like to work on each project at least an hour, and if I want to keep on working on it, then I will. I'm putting aside all sals and other pieces for this month. And I'm going to have a focus new start kind of, so if I'm tired of working on the piece that I've decided was for that day, then I'm going to go back to what is my first new start. And I've kind of mapped out in my bullet journal. So these are the new starts, these are the whips, and this in pencil is my tentative plans on what is going to be on what day. I normally write everything in here in pen, but I wanted to be able to erase and change things around if that's what I wanted to do. So Jessie Marie and a couple others, I believe, decided that they were going to do a new Mirabilia on Mondays, like Mirabilia Mondays or whatever. I only have 2 Mirabilias new to start, and I only have 1 Mirabilia whip, and I'm not going to work on that during Mania. So on the 2 odd days that are a Monday, I'll do the new Mirabilia starts, which is actually why I'm going to start the project I'm starting today. Even though I wanted to like start it on a Saturday when I would have a long amount of time to stitch on it. Anyways, yeah, so let's get into it. I have a whole container in here, full of things to show you. So what I'm going to start first is Portrait of Veronica by Mirabilia. I just love her. She's so beautiful. And I really want her done, and I want her framed and hanging up because she really calls to me. She calls to like the Slytherin in me. And so I'm going to stitch her on this piece of 30 count silver. I think it's called Windigan. I got it from a group I was on a while back. I've had this for like 5 years. I had a really big piece that I was able to cut into three smaller pieces for this Mania. So here's the first one, and you can see it's just a nice neutral kind of color, not so bright as white, and I think she'll look really beautiful on it. So I'm really looking forward to starting this. As soon as I finish recording this, I will start stitching on this, and then hopefully work on her throughout the month. The next piece up is on another part of that 30 count silver. And this is Mirabilia's red. So this isn't the next one I'm going to be starting. I'll start it in 2 weeks from now. And that's what she looks like. I am going to do Kelly from the Evergreen Needle or Evergreen Stitching. I forget. I'm going to do her green conversion. And if I remember, I'll try to post the link to her YouTube video in that so you can see what she did. But I think this and that green conversion will be a lovely, companion next to Veronica. They're going to be like my Slytherin girls. I don't know. I think they're really beautiful. And I don't always feel drawn to Mirabilias. I'm not a mermaid person, and I sometimes think their bodies are like weirdly proportioned, like their necks and how skinny they are. I don't know. I'm a short, curvier girl, and so I don't really relate to the Mirabilia woman, but I love their dresses, like all their dresses, every single one of them. And so these ones I felt were really beautiful and elegant without looking like too skinny, like a stick. I hope that doesn't offend anyone. Like, if you're really super skinny, I don't have a problem with that. You know, my sisters are skinnier types. It's just, that's not what necessarily appeals to me. I don't know, I'm digging a hole now. One of my next new starts is a summer ball from Deborah Lester. I don't have a color picture of this, but I'm sure you've seen this on many groups. She now has a Patreon thing where for $5 a month you get an old chart, and this was the first one. So, and I will be starting that on the last piece of that silver. And it was, I think I just needed like 10 inches, so I cut it all the way across one direction, but only 10 inches down. So it's a skinny long piece. And finding that and being able to use that from my stash was really helpful. It saved me probably $60 because I would have needed to buy 36 inches of a fabric for that one, and then the other two pieces. So I had a small start on that I had to frog out this weekend, but I wasn't liking how it was stitching. It was slipping some stitches. It was 1/1. And so I think this fabric will be much better on these pieces, and I'm really looking forward to it. Martina, who sold it, told me that one is no longer available, like it's been discontinued, which is kind of unfortunate. I probably would look to get that again, but it is what it is. The next 4 pieces are the animal ones that I got while I was on safari during Christmas. I haven't started any of them, and I kind of would like to. I still don't have that 5th one because I haven't been able to find it, but I'll need to eBay look for it, and maybe I can find it. So we have the rhinoceros. I mean, I haven't even opened this at all. It's still in its packaging. But I did get this for one of my sisters, and it looks like it might be a hand-drawn chart, and those are a little bit harder for me to follow, so these ones might be ones that only get an hour a day, and then I switch back to Veronica. But, so rhinoceros, elephant. I kind of like how that guy looks. They're really big. I mean, the rhinoceroses, those are actually pretty small cross stitches, not too big. The buffalo. And the lion. Then I'm kind of torn between 2 charts. I'm going to work on this May cottage as soon as I finish the April. I'm so close to being done with April, But I usually work on these like during lunch break, and so I'm not sure I really want to count it as a new start. Or the other option is this mystery Sal from Stickeden von der Weyenberg. That's German, and I don't know how to pronounce it. But so far, only the first page has been released, and I'm still really struggling to come up with my color concept. It's recommended that you stitch it in just one color, and so part of me wants to do that, and even with doing that, I still don't know like what color I would choose, or would I do like a hand-dyed variegated type of thing, or would I do like a 939 or a 310 in DMC or whatever. Or I'm just going to show you little bits of this pattern. Like over here, there's this little butterfly motif. And the first time I saw it, I just like pictured it in purple and blue. And so part of me wants to do that. But then there's this little crown up here on another part of this motif. And part of me wants to stitch that in like Petite Treasure Braid Gold. But then there's a like kind of flower looking motif that part of me wants to stitch in red and green. And so, and then there's little letters throughout it. And so part of me is thinking that maybe I should wait until another page or two is released before I decide. So I don't know if I'm going to start this yet either. I'm still waiting for Brooks Books to release Rapunzel this month. It should be on Friday, I believe. Or Saturday. No, she said Saturday. So maybe that will be a new start. Or maybe, I don't know, my 1 year anniversary with my boyfriend is this month. And so I might like stitch a quick heart thing. I don't know. So I'm still debating about that one, if it's going to be any of those. Then we have the next 5 that I'm super excited about, actually. It's from this book, 5 Seasons to Quilts. Of Quilts. 5 Seasons of Quilts. And so I'm going to start each of these. And you can see here on this page, that's spring, summer, autumn, winter. I love that winter one. I love those colors. And holidays. So I've already cut out the fabrics for that, and I have some mushroom colored, 2 pieces of this mushroom colored, and then I have 4 pieces of white. So I still have to and it's all 28 count Jobelan. So I still have to decide which ones are going to go in which colors, but so I have all the fabric cut out and ready to go. And the final new start is the one that hasn't arrived yet, and that is, oh no, there's 2 more. Okay, I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson, but I found a cross-stitch chart of the Mistborn characters, kind of in the style of like fangirl stitches, so the like pixelated characters, but like outlined and not like the ones like Clouds Factory does where they're more like rounded ones. So I have that, and I want to start that, and I'm thinking I'm going to listen to the books while working on that. But I don't have a printout copy of it. It's saved on my computer. So that's going to be one. And then the one that hasn't arrived yet is Main Street Stitch Along from Country Cottage Needleworks, and that's because it was released recently and it hasn't shipped from the LNS that I ordered it from. Like a month and a half ago I signed up for an auto ship, and so I'm waiting for that to come in. So that one will be later in the month because that'll just give it time to show up, but I am looking forward to that. Okay, so those are all the new starts. Now we have the whips. And it was really hard to choose just 15 whips because I probably have 100, and they were all calling to me, and they were all like, why didn't you pick me? And I'm like, because I don't know. I like sat with various projects surrounding me on the ground for like 3 hours trying to narrow down my whips. But the first one is Giant Harry Potter. And this is just on a, I think, white 22 count heart hanger. And that's what I have done. And I would have worked on this a lot more by now, but I hate stitching these banners, especially the letters. And I think Davina Mumala didn't stitch the letters, and if I had seen her video before I started this, I would have ignored those letters too, because it's so off-putting, because it's daunting. And so, what I'm hoping to do during Stitch Mania is finish the P, stitch up Hermione, and maybe work a little along here to finish out the border. But at some point I need to force myself to do those banners. So, I don't know. Next up is the Storytime Sampler from Frosted Pumpkin. I honestly don't know why I decided this fabric. It's so red. Like, at the moment I was like, yeah, let's do it. And now I'm like, what were you thinking? This is really red. But that's all I've done on it. And this is a beautiful fabric. It really is beautiful. And it's from Fiberlicious. I think it's called Poinsettia or something like that. And, yeah, I started this in January for the Crazy 7. Over when Cross Stitch and Disgust was still existing. So, several of these are from that Crazy 7, and they're pieces I haven't been able to work on since then. They all have very small starts, and I just wanted an excuse to be able to work on them again. So there's that one. Then there's the postcards from Clouds Factory, and again, really small start. I mean, I didn't even get the outline of one full one. I think I decided to just use one cut of floss, and when I was done with that, I was done. Not because I don't like it. I think the design is beautiful. I think I was really busy. Next one is the Let's Go on an Adventure, the Pumpkin Passport, whatever it calls itself. And this one, I got the word un, A-N. That's all I got stitched. And it's on the ale. Let's go on an adventure. So much to do. But I got my sister in Germany the kit of this on Ada, not on the linen. And so she's a one at a time person, not like me. And so as soon as she finishes the project that she's working on, she's going to start working on this one. And so I hope to be able to kind of stitch along with her, because I really think it's nice to have hobbies to share. And we've both traveled a lot because my parents, we grew up overseas, so we've been to lots of different countries. And she actually lives in Europe, so she's been to several of the countries that's in this Pumpkin Passport. So I just think it would be really fun to be able to stitch along with her. She does have a small son, so she doesn't get a lot of stitching time. He's a toddler and adorable. Next is Twist the Night. I really love this one, and I still want all those Santas. I don't have any more of them, but I still want them all. I love them. I look at them on my wish list, and I'm like, just get them, especially when they're on sale. They're like $7. And I'm like, just get them. But then I'm like, no, you have so much stash. Try to get some things done. I didn't even finish 2 letters. just I and the start of an N over here in this stockings. So I am part of that N. So I hope to finish the word stockings. If I don't get anything else done on this, I hope to at least finish the word stockings. But I'm hoping that with being able to dedicate, like, with putting aside all my other normal stitching goals and just dedicating my stitching time to these, that I will actually be able to make significant progress in each of these projects. And when I say significant, I mean like more than just 50 stitches. I'd like to at least get 100, a couple hundred every day. The ones that are scheduled for Saturdays will possibly be the luckiest ones. Okay, oops. Next, I found this while digging around in my stash. I'd forgotten I even had this, or when I started it, or anything. But this is Mother and Child. And my sister in Germany, when I found this, I took a picture of it and I sent it to her and I was like, would you want this? And she responded rather emphatically that she did. And she would either put it in her son's room or hang it for herself. But so I want to really make some good progress on this. And this is what has been done on it. So part of this background and a tiny, tiny bit of her cape. And when I saw it, it just really reminded me of my sister. She's a brunette. She has that kind of wistful face too. And then she does have a child. So I look at it and I see her. So I really want to be able to make that for her. Next is one that I haven't worked on in a really long time. And I think I envisioned this for my dad. My dad is a missionary, and I want to make this for his office, I think. It's called His Hands. It's a kit from Janlin. And I do not have a lot of progress made on it. Just part of the background over here. So I hope to make more work on the background done. But I have projects for pretty much all the other members of my family, and I never really had something for my dad. And so I'd really like to be able to do this for him. I mean, he gets lumped in with the things that are for my mom, and I think they usually would suit them both, but that is something I want to make specifically for my father, for his office. Next up is a whole lotta latte. Sorry for the plastic glare. And I do not have a lot done on this. I envisioned it for my aunt, I believe. She loves coffee. That's all I have done. So, any progress is good progress. And she loves bright colors, so I really would like to get this done for her someday. And so, I mean, maybe I can finish this cup. That's by the one I have started. If I could get that done, that'd be really good. So, I think I have this scheduled for a Tuesday. So, not necessarily one of my busier days. Sometimes, actually, the weekends is when I get the lace stitching done, so a weekday could be good. Then I have a Dimensions kit, Beach Babies. I actually really, what did I do with that? I really actually hate the beach. I am not a beach baby, but I think these little girls and their little swimsuits with their chubby little legs are so cute. They're so cute. And, yeah, I really like that. I think it's cute. But I don't like the sand. I don't like the sun. I don't like the ocean water and how sticky it feels. For some reason, I decided I was going to stitch this in hand. So I, have it rolled up like this. So I could, hold just a tiny bit out. I don't know. Why don't I put it on one of my Q snaps? I think because they don't always give you a lot of extra room on these kits, and so they can sometimes be hard to fit in Q snaps. But anyways, so that's how much I have done. Okay. So that's Beach Babies. Next up, we have, I don't have a picture of what this looks like finished, but it's Esther's Wave by Northern Expressions. And I am doing a blue and turquoise color conversion. Here are some of the other colors that are in here. So, some really beautiful colors. And so I'm doing a blue conversion, and I don't have a lot done on this yet. That's all I have done is 1.5 bands. So I hope, and I think I did schedule this for, oh, a Sunday? I thought I meant to put it on a Saturday. I don't usually have a lot of time for, okay, that might be moving someplace else. But, so I hope to finish this band and maybe do the next band of Jessica's. But I love how this looks, and I just wish I had more time to dedicate to this piece in my normal stitching. I might be rethinking my stitching rotation again, but I'll talk about that later because it's not going to apply to this month. This month is Mania only, so... Well, Mania and one other thing that I'll talk about in my update video, which I will do after this is uploaded to YouTube. Next up are the course, so the 5 new starts of the seasonal quilts. On the day after that, I will be doing the Celtic Lady with the corresponding seasons. And so these are my last 5 whips that I will be working on. So first up, we have Spring. Here you go. And I have a very meager start on this, in part because this fabric is so see-through that I don't know that I actually like it, and part of me wants to change it, but I'm too cheap for that probably. One of those people that's like, just make it work. So, that's what I've done. So, I hope to do a lot more on that. So, that's spring. Then we have summer, and I'm really happy with where I'm at on this one. I love the colors. So, this is summer. And this is what I have done on her. And so I'm hoping to finish all the letters of summer during Mania. That would be, I think, a really good achievement for me. So I have the S done, so working on the U-M-M-E-R. Celtic Autumn is probably the one that I have the most done on, and I am doing a color conversion, so I'm not going to show you that main picture, but here is what I have done on her. So I just hope to fill in some more of the dress colors, get some done on that. I love how she looks. We're at 30 minutes and I don't want the video to cut out and to lose stuff, so I'm trying to speed it along. Just 2 more. Next up is Celtic Winter, and this is actually a color, it's not just a color conversion, it's a total conversion. And it's a mix of Celtic Autumn and Celtic Winter. So it's the dress of Celtic Autumn in different colors, but the head and the border and the hands of Celtic Winter. And so this is what I've done on her so far. That's part of the dress. And I'm one of those people that actually writes on my original chart and highlights on it and all that kind of stuff. So I had to buy another copy of the Celtic Autumn pattern. And I'm actually really fine with that because these charts that fold out, like, okay, I'm going to try to do this on the backwards page so you don't really see. But these ones that fold out so it's not a reasonable size way to print it, I don't know how to make a working copy of it. Like, it's a real struggle. And so, I mean, you can see I colored on it. I wrote a note over here about what to do. I go with a whiteout and I write the color that I change it to. And that works really well for me. And so, to all those people that like worry about writing on their charts because you think it's well, I mean, like, if you want to resell it or that's just not your thing, that's totally fine. But if you're just worried to do it because other people tell you not to ever do that, I say write on it if you want to write on it. If that's what works for you, do what works for you. Because I don't know how else to really do a Mirabilia because I can't fit that into the printer or copier. It was just the one time I tried, it was a huge struggle and it made me really angry, and I'm just not going there again. The last one is Celtic Noel. And I'm not a fan of the color of this fabric, but I am a fan of this pattern. And that's what I've done on it so far. And so I would like to finish these blocks, and that will finish this part of that border. I'm saving the beading till the end. But I love the greens and the reds and the petite treasure braid gold in there. I think it just sparkles. I love that. So those are my whips and my new starts for Stitch Mania. I'm going to upload this now to YouTube, and afterwards I plan on making my update video from April. Yeah, April. And I'll show all the projects I work on, and most likely I'm just going to switch to doing one video a month where I do a big update of everything I work on during the month. I'll give you a stitch count update and my goal to reach 1,000,000 stitches by the time I'm 50. And I'll do because I switch projects and I might only put like 40 stitches in something in a week, and so I just feel like it'll be more entertaining for you guys and less stress for me if I just do one a month. At the start of a month, I'll do the review for the last month. And so we'll see what happens with that. But as always, it's been a lot of fun watching your guys' videos, seeing your Mania plans. I love watching those Mania videos. If you haven't checked out Stitch Bliss, I would recommend it because she is a great history teacher and I just love her videos. They're awesome. There's so many good Flosstubers out there. Like, a lot of the smaller ones that you might not necessarily hear a lot about, they are working on some really interesting projects. So go and try to find some Flosstube newbies, and see what they're working on and give them some encouragement, because there are some really beautiful projects that are being worked on, and I think everyone should have a few viewers that just like encourage them on. So good luck to anyone participating in Mania, or if you're just watching from the sidelines, have fun with that. And have a good stitching week. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.